Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? Well, we have a lot to talk about today, okay? And if you haven't signed up for our newsletter yet, please do so. All the information you're going to need is in the description box below. Plus, start sending in those recipes so I can get going on this cookbook. It is awesome sauce. Let me just tell you that, okay? And, wow, train of thought. Woo-hoo, right out the window. It's not old age, so stop saying it. So, grab your coffee, huh? Maybe some chocolate, maybe a snack or two, and let's get into it. Shut up. So, this subscriber wrote in and said, you know, I just thought I would share this example of shrinkflation. Okay. I bought some more Hormel chili for my stockpile. It's gone up 50 cents. And when comparing the cans, the older can has 15 ounces. The newer can only has 14 ounces. Is this how they're trying to hide inflation? They hope people will not check the sizes. Oh, yeah. Have you noticed that also pasta is no longer a pound? It's 12 ounces. Yeah. And this subscriber wanted to let everybody in the community know that she just bought 4 cans of the Augason Farm Black Bean Burger Mix on Walmart's website for $10.06 a can. That's insane. That's insane. That's really, really cheap. So she wanted to let you know that. Okay, now on to this. Because we are seeing, and I'm going to get my phone out really quick, okay? Because I got some text messages from a subscriber who's a friend of mine, okay? And we've been talking back and forth about Venezuela and stuff like that. And we've got something in the works for you guys, okay? Talking about baby formula. Now, I know this is not a dead issue, and I'll tell you why in a second, okay? Baby formula is literally, it's what you're going to keep seeing as the biggest shortage. Does that make sense? Okay. So, where is that text message? I mean, she was literally texting me all this stuff. We've got so many text messages going back and forth with each other. It's insane. So, anyway, I was sent this, okay, and I'm going to share it with you. Okay, it's about homemade baby formula. Okay, I will always, you know me, link in the description box below. Okay. The recipe was found through Weston Price Foundation. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So if you want to write this down, please do. Okay. The ingredients are 2 cups of filtered water, 2 teaspoons collagen protein. Collagen protein, you can get it at Walgreens, you can get it at CVS, because I buy it, okay? Any, you know, in the pharmacy of any store, really, all right? 4 tablespoons lactose, 2 cups raw whole grass-fed milk, 2 tablespoons heavy cream, 1 capsule contents of lacto, and that's LACTO. This is optional for lactose digestion support. Okay, probably also for colicky babies. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon acerola powder, and acerola is ACEROLA. 1/4 teaspoon infant probiotic, 2 teaspoon nutritional yeast flakes, 1/2 teaspoon cod liver oil, 1 teaspoon expeller pressed sunflower oil, 1 teaspoon extra virgin olive oil, 2 teaspoon coconut oil, and this is optional, of 1/4 teaspoon of butter oil. So the instructions are this. Take 2 cups of the filtered water. Pour about half the water into a pan. Turn heat on medium. Add 2 teaspoons collagen, protein, 4 teaspoons lactose into the warming water. Let dissolve. Stir occasionally. While the collagen and lactose are dissolving, place 2 cups of raw whole milk in a clean glass blender and add the remaining ingredients. So, the 4th step is then remove the pan from the heat and pour in the remaining half of the water to cool. Next, add 2 teaspoons coconut oil and the optional of the 1/4 teaspoon of butter oil to the water to melt. Then add the water mixture to the blender ingredients and blend out for about 3 seconds. Then pour the blended ingredients into glass jars and refrigerate. Now, with all of this being said, okay, for those of us that are, personally, and this recipe here yields 72 ounces. Okay, so with all of this being said, for those of us that are personally dealing with the baby food shortages, whether we are parents ourselves, grandparents, aunts and uncles, okay, whether we are foster parents, whatever the case may be, okay, it doesn't matter. Let's stock up on these ingredients, okay? Even if we have a baby on the way, let's stock up on these ingredients. Okay, because these ingredients are going to be gold in the very, very near future. All right. And it's, because we can't get our hands on baby formula. We can't. Okay. And I've talked about the other baby formula that's DIY that was put out in the 1960s by a pediatrician. Okay. But then this was brought to my attention, this baby formula recipe. So I wanted to get this out there as quick as I could. Okay. So please, even if you have to rewind the video so you can, write everything down, all the ingredients down. Okay. Please get these ingredients for your baby formula. Okay. It's so important now more than ever. But like I said, the link will be in the description box below. Okay. Because this baby formula shortage, I don't know why. I just have this god-awful feeling that this is going to be the end game here. I don't know why. Why do I feel like that? So, on to this. There is this guy, and he is his name is Dr. Dave Janda, Janda. And he is a commentator and an expert. He's been on Fox News, I take it. Okay. He's extremely high profile. He's very credentialed, experienced, and trustworthy. All right. This link will obviously also be in the description box below. And from what I understand, when he speaks, you listen. I don't know. I've honestly never heard of this guy. But I do hear a lot of, some people talking about him. So he's been sounding the alarm for years about a coming food supply crisis. And of course, one that will be self-inflicted and caused by globalists. And for years, this guy was mocked and ridiculed. But now people are, I guess, listening. All right. And now, because it's all happening right before our very eyes, it's like, now I guess he's saying, I told you so, So there is a video in this link, so you can watch it. He said that it's being called the perfect storm because of the food banks and the food pantries, that they're not even getting deliveries. All right. Inflation is up. Donations are down. More people need food. With schools letting out for summer, that's going to be horrifying. That's going to be horrifying. Many American kids are going to go hungry without school breakfast and school lunch, because I said that just the other day in a video. Okay, and food prices, they're just rising, rising, rising. And food banks, they serve the poor, right? We all know this. And they're seeing empty shelves just as more people need their services. So that link will be in the description box below as well for you guys, okay? So apparently this sign was at a bookstore. This is funny. So time for a commercial break, guys. So this subscriber, she got a hold of me and she said, I wanted to pass this info along as I'm not sure what to make of it. I recently received my California driver's license renewal form in the mail. And it stated that in order to be able to book domestic flights after a certain date, I need to have a real ID. I looked up the info on the website, and apparently, unless you have this new card, your driver's license or ID is not federally recognized. What? You will not be able to book domestic travel. You will not be able to enter secure federal buildings. What? So she left the link, so that'll be in the description box below. And she said to follow up, I looked into the Real ID further. Apparently it was approved by the Real ID Act in 2005. It just took years to implement, and California is one of the last states to do so. Wow. Okay, so those links will be in the description box below for you guys. Oh, I had no clue. So now on to stuff that I really wanted to talk about. Okay, so this. All right. There's, the world is entering a major food crisis. We all know this. We've been talking about this for how long? And it's the likes of which has not been seen since World War II. Okay, and I have been stressing that we get back to basics in the kitchen and things like that. Okay, learn how to ration your food, learn how to, do things like they did back in the Great Depression. Okay, and the reality is that it will probably end up being much worse when it's all said and done. Now, skyrocketing food prices both in Germany and abroad have created a highly dramatic situation. Already more than 300 million people are going hungry, and that number continues to rise, which is why the United Nations is having to constantly revise this data. Now, food prices have increased by about a third all around the world, which constitutes record levels. And the bitter message is that we are facing the worst famine. I'm going to say that again, because we have said this word in the past and not so long ago. We are facing the worst famine since World War II, in which millions could die. I want that to sink into your brains really quick. Okay, just let it sink in, because I know that that's going to shock you, but I want it to sink in. And then I want you to look at your preps, and I want you to become rational, and I want you to realize what's really going on and say to yourself, do you have enough Okay. So, in a statement that was made on May 6th, which was just a week ago, okay, the WFP, or the World Food Program, warned that 44 million people around the world are marching towards starvation because no more exporting of grain to countries. Okay. Black Sea ports need to be reopened immediately in order to get more food to places where people need it the most. Now, I spoke about the other day about how the grains were stolen, right? You remember me talking about that? And it's now like allegedly taking advantage, okay, of nations that depend on these grains for, agricultural products, things like that. And since the big R only wants to deal with countries that are friendly to them, many non-friendly ones, mainly like NATO countries, all right, are no longer eligible for exports. And this policy was invoked after NATO imposed sanctions and after many Western multinational corporations decided to stop doing business with them. So if this doesn't light a fire under your arse, I don't think anything will. Okay, so this is a war on humanity from within. It's all being orchestrated by the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. It's an agenda of global enslavement. I don't know how else to put it, to be nice about it. You should know me by now. I don't sugarcoat anything. There is one more thing that I want to speak about, and I'm sorry if this video gets a little long. And it's about our grid. Okay, the heads of different electric grid operators have warned that American households may experience energy shortages. Okay, I had said something about this the other day, but I think it's important to speak on it a little bit more. All right. This issue, this warning was issued, okay, amid the Potato administration's rapid adoption of so-called clean energy solutions. You know them with their Green New Deal garbage, right? So the Mid-Continent Independence System Operator, or MISO, which delivers power to much of the Midwest, is one such company that has issued this warning. And it said last month that it would likely require increased energy imports alongside emergency resources because of, this summer, because we're supposed to have record heat this summer and the like. All right. Now, the executive director of this MISO, pointed to capacity shortfalls in both the north and the central regions. And this could leave those areas at increased risk of temporary controlled outages to preserve the integrity of the bulk electric system. So, in layman's terms, get ready for rolling blackouts. So these remarks came as traditional power plants that use coal and natural gas are retired in favor of wind turbines and solar panels. So I'm going to stress to you once again, okay, get your generators up and running, make sure they are good to go, stock up on your gas, get your portable AC units out, make sure they are in working order, get your flashlights, get your battery operated candles, get everything that you need or that you think you will need in preparation for rolling blackouts. It's going to be one hell of a summer, guys. And then we have to look forward to a dark winter. All right. I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless.